Without further ado, here's Logos. Objective: we are learning to understand the rhetoric of Logos by watching informational and demonstrational videos on Logos.
The last type of persuasive technique we'll talk about today is logos. Logos is where a persuader tries to use facts, information, logic, statistics, and surveys to persuade you to agree with them. Now, facts, information, statistics, these things can be interpreted lots of different ways and presented lots of different ways. We're going to look at that later on in the year. But it's an effective way to get people to trust you, to get them to believe what it is you're saying. If you have data, we like that. So it doesn't even have to be true data, as we'll see later on in the year, but having that feeling that this is facts and information and logic goes a long way in persuading an audience. So for instance, if we're trying to sell Nike shoes using logos, we might say studies have shown that Nike shoes will make you run a half second faster on average, jump 10% higher, prevent 90% of ankle injuries, and 9 out of 10 Americans say that it's the best shoe money can buy. Sorry, cut that off a little bit. Let's look at a commercial, see if you can see the awkward use of logos. I like this because of how sweaty the guy is in the commercial.
Thinking of buying a Toyota Camry, there's a few things you should be aware of. Like the Lexus ES350 with more standard features than the Toyota Camry. More horsepower than the Toyota Camry, with standard 17-inch 10-spoke alloy wheels larger than the Toyota Camry. Unlike the Toyota Camry, the Lexus ES350 comes standard with Smart Access keyless entry with push start. Unlike the Toyota Camry, the Lexus ES350 comes standard with California walnut and leather trim interior. Full-size trunk space, and unlike the Toyota Camry, a full-size spare tire with matching alloy wheel.
Right now at Lexus of Orlando, the new 2010 Lexus ES350 is just $349 per month. That's right, just $349 per month. For details, call Lexus of Orlando, 1-800-NEW-LEXUS. That's 1-800-NEW-LEXUS.
Answer the following questions from the Logos video. List 3 facts the Lexus dealer uses to sell the EX350. Now let's look at persuading with Logos using statistics. Here is a graph based on statistical surveys about unemployment rates of high school graduates versus dropouts. Meaning, what is the information or facts it is giving us? What is the statistical graph trying to persuade us to do? Finally, let's look at logic with Logos. I know I promised not to be biased to logic, but I can't help it. I found 2 awesome videos to demonstrate logic. The first video stars Calvin and Hobbes. It will explain how logic works. The second video is a clip from Thank You for Smoking. This is the video you will write a few short answers to test your understanding of logic. Here's Calvin and Hobbes.
Next, let's go into logos. Logos refers to the logical content of communication, including the information being presented and the organizational structure of that information. And again, that definition might not help a ton, so let's break that down a little bit. Logos is the logical content of your argument. This might include the information you present, the connections you make between elements of your argument, and the logical conclusions you draw based on the information you present. The logical conclusions are the key here. With your support of whatever it is you're trying to persuade people to do, if your support doesn't end in a logical conclusion, if it doesn't make sense, then it's not logos, okay? It's not logical. And once again, let's see how Calvin handles logos. You know, school wouldn't be so bad if you didn't have to go every day. Now, I know that most of you are agreeing right now, but let's take a look at his logical support for that. And if you didn't have to learn anything, and if you took away all the teachers and all the other kids, If it was completely different, school would be great. Is this logical? In a way it is, because if you didn't have to learn anything at school, if you didn't have teachers, if you didn't have homework, if you didn't have other people to deal with, school would be great. But then again, it kind of wouldn't be school anymore. A lot of things are like that, Hobbes says. Nobody asks me how things ought to be. I've got a ton of ideas. Now again, Calvin uses logos in this argument, but doesn't use it very well, because his conclusion is not logical. Okay? Now, logos in real-life situations. You need to save money on your groceries. Go shopping alone. Have a budget and stick to it. Make fewer, larger trips. Don't shop hungry. Plan your meals in advance. Scan your cupboards, pantry, and fridge before leaving. Keep a running list of items you need on your fridge. Break your list down by store and plan your outing accordingly. With these shopping tips, you'll save up to 40% of your grocery bill. Now, the assertion is, what they're trying to persuade you to do is to save money on your groceries. If you take a look at this, if you do all these things, the logical outcome is going to be, possibly saving up to 40% of your grocery bill. And it makes sense. If you shop alone, if you have a budget and stick to it, fewer trips, don't shop hungry, all these things end in the logical conclusion of saving money on your grocery bill. Okay? And that's logos.
And now, a clip from Thank You for Smoking. Eckhart plays Nick Naylor, a representative for Big Tobacco. One of Big Tobacco's advertising models, the Marlboro Man, developed cancer from smoking. The Marlboro Man now wants to denounce or go against the tobacco company. Naylor's job in this scene is to try and persuade the Marlboro Man to keep quiet.
So, you here to talk me into shutting up? That what's in that case of yours?
Yeah, basically. No, not basically. That's exactly it.
That dignity ain't for sale.
It's not an offer. It's a gift. Taxes have all been paid. You get to keep it no matter what you do. The idea is that somehow your guilt will prevent you from bad-mouthing us.
Are you supposed to be telling me all that?
No, sir. Just apologize, give you the money, and leave.
Why are you telling me this?
Because this way you'll take the money.
Why would I do that?
Because you're mad.
Damn straight I am.
And the first thing you'll do is you call the LA Times and CNN and insist on Bonnie Carlton. She does really good controlled outrage. Tell them no Bonnie, no story. Watch it on MSNBC.
Okay.
And when they get here, you open up the case and you pour all the cash out onto the floor.
Why?
Trust me, it'll look more effective that way. And don't forget to shake every last bundle out. And if you can, give a cough or two. Once it's all out on the floor, tell them what you're going to do with it.
What am I going to do with it?
You're going to donate it. Yeah, start the Lauren Lutz Cancer Foundation. You're going to have a ranch and a fair and a 5K. 5K is a must. It's television.
Wait a minute. What about my family?
Lauren, you can't keep the money.
Why the hell not?
What, denounce us and then keep the blood money? Look at it.
All right, I got to think this over.
Lauren, but news doesn't work that way. You can't denounce us next week.
I don't suppose I can denounce you for half of it.
No, Lauren. Either you keep all the money or you give it all away.
What are the logical steps that Naylor uses to persuade or convince the Marlboro Man to keep quiet? What is Naylor's setup, Naylor's demonstration, Naylor's conclusion? Your opinion. Does Naylor's logical persuasion work? You've completed the flipped classroom on Logos. Click Turn In Now. Get credit for your work.